This is a 2004 Yamaha 92 stroke with an unknown amount of hours. This is the thermostat housing and where the poppet valve goes. This is what the inside of the housing looks like. It is not looking the greatest, super dirty. There's just 4 bolts that hold this housing on, so if you want to try this, you can take it off on your engine pretty easily to see what it looks like. But what we're going to do is, I have already dug out most of all the dirt and grime that was in there, but there's still a bunch of stuff built up on the side. So what I want to do is, we're going to run a test here, and we are just going to take some salt away, and we're going to put it into this little bottle here. I got it on Amazon for like $10. So we're going to hook this up to our flush attachment, and we're going to run it. I'm going to run it for 5 minutes, check it, 10 minutes, check it, 15 minutes, check it, and we will see how long it takes this stuff to get rid of all that grime on a 3-cylinder outboard. All this is a hose adapter, soap dispenser, foam tank, whatever they call it. It's like 100 milliliters, which is like 3 ounces or so. 60 ounces here, kind of hard to see it, but that's the 60. So we got 60 ounces in here, and we are going to hook this up to see what happens after 5 minutes. I also kind of want to see how long it takes this thing, so you can adjust how much soap it gets versus how much water it gets. It almost looks like this thing is set up backwards. You see how the inlet side there, it's got a little arrow, and it says water, and then the soap is on the other side, but like that's complete opposite from how a hose is going to hook up to that. So I'm just going to hook it up anyway and see what happens. Okay, so got her going. It is 8:45, so we'll see how long that soap actually lasts. It is coming out. You can see it's kind of like blue. Got the foam there, got that. I ended up putting a plug in the water tube up here, so you can notice no water's coming out of that. It's just coming out the exhaust here. So housing's on there. I got this on the lowest setting. It seems to be working, so no need for any adapters or anything. It's just kind of weird how they have it marked on there. But let's let this thing run for 5 minutes, and then we'll stop it and see what it looks like. Well, actually, look at that. That thing's almost wiped out, so this ain't gonna make it no 5 minutes, that's for sure. Well, that pretty much did a whole lot of nothing. I mean, I guess it is a little bit cleaner, but not what you would want to see. So I guess let me run another round of that, and we'll see what that does. Alright, so round 2. I kind of tried to halfway put this on that dot, so it's, you know, a little bit less, just to give it more time to let that stuff work more. But we'll see how it goes. So you can see that there is soap in there, but as you can see, it really is not doing much at all as far as cleaning. I mean, it is cleaning. That's definitely, you can tell it's a lot cleaner right there, and some of the back spots is a lot cleaner, but this stuff is so thick and been on here for so long that the only way that you're going to be able to get this clean is to take the engine apart. I mean, that has definitely gotten a lot better, so I can't say it's not doing anything. It has definitely gotten a lot better, but you would probably need a lot of this. So you would probably need, I don't know, I've got quite a bit here. So let me just try and I'll run this whole thing through it and see what happens if I just run this whole thing through it. I think I definitely need to go in short bursts of like 60 milliliters a time, because if I put all this in there, I feel like it's just going to, you know, blow through the stuff and not allow it to really work. So what I'll do is I'll fill up 60 and I'll see how many times it takes to get, you know, to where this is decently clean. So let's see, and if not, I'll blow through this whole thing and we will see what exactly that does. I mean, this is going to work if you're doing it on the regular, but once it gets to this point, I don't think it's going to really clean it up. So this is 4 rounds. A lot better. I mean, that is way better, but again, not all that great compared to, you know, it's just so old and caked on there that you're going to need to physically clean this in order to get this stuff off of there. Which, yeah, if you physically clean it off like this, that stuff's coming right off. That's actually doing really well. Physically do it. I mean, the stuff does come off pretty easy now once I've ran 4 rounds of it, but let me scrape, let me just scrape some of the stuff off of there and we will see what it looks like after I scrape some, and we'll run a couple more rounds of it. But yeah, you're definitely going to have to physically clean this off. Yeah, so look how thick this stuff is. There's still a bunch of stuff in there. Again, you have to physically get in there to clean it out. So what I'm going to do, I'll keep running a couple more Saltaways, but what I'll do is I'm going to go see if head gaskets, water jacket, gasket are available and how much they cost, and I might do another video taking these off to show you how to physically clean the inside of the cooling passages. Alright, so as you can see, that looks 100 times better. Obviously it's not perfect, so that is 8 rounds of flushing, and that is also a little bit of scraping. It looks phenomenal, but in order to really get that clean like this, you have to physically clean it. So just running the Saltaway will not make it look like this. I think you can get kind of close, but not near as good as what this looks like. I am going to check and see about the gaskets for the head and for the water jacket, and I might be able to just order those if they're available, and depending on what they cost, just to do another video on how to, you know, pull the heads and clean inside of here. But let me show you what it will not clean based on this item here. So if you look in here, all that stuff in there, you're not going to be able to get that out without physically cleaning it. So I did not do anything here. I did not try to scrape it or any of that. So if you do not get in there and get it some scraping done, then that's what it's going to look like on the inside if you ran just the Saltaway. So you can see the big difference between actually physically scraping these chunks off and then letting the Saltaway do its job after you pull these chunks off. But other than that, so that's what you're gonna look like if you do not physically clean it. It will look like that inside your engine, but if you actually do the physical cleaning, I got this towel here to try and make it to where you can see it. So if you are actually able to physically clean it, you can make the inside look like that.